If you're over 40, and still depending on a paycheck, there's a very real chance you may never retire early. Not because you're lazy. Not because you don't work hard. But because you've been following a system that was never designed to set you free. Most people think retirement is simple. You work. You save. And one day, you stop working. But in reality, that plan is quietly breaking down. The average American has less than $200,000 saved. But to retire comfortably, you may need $1 million, or more. So what happens? People reach 60, 65, even 70, and realize they can't afford to stop working. And this is the reality for millions of people today. They didn't fail. They did exactly what they were told. Go to school. Get a job. Work hard. Save money. But somehow, it's still not enough. So if people are doing everything right, why are they still falling behind? Here's the truth. Most people were never taught how money actually works. They were taught how to earn money, but not how to grow it. And that changes everything. Because saving money is not the same as building wealth. Let me explain. Most people spend decades saving. They cut expenses. They budget carefully. They try to be responsible. But while they're doing that, inflation keeps rising. The cost of living goes up. And slowly, their money loses value. So even though they're saving, they're not moving forward. They're standing still. And standing still is the same as falling behind. That's the first problem. Saving alone will never make you free. You don't retire early by saving money. You retire early by growing money. And that leads to the second problem. Time. Most people think they have more time than they actually do. They tell themselves, I'll start investing later. When I earn more. When things are more stable. But later is the most expensive decision you can make. Because in the world of money, time is everything. The earlier you start, the less you need to invest. The longer you wait. Someone who starts investing at 25, with small amounts, can end up with more money than someone who starts at 40, with a much higher income. Not because they're smarter, but because they gave their money more time to grow. Time is the one thing you can never get back. And once it's gone, it's gone. That's why waiting is so dangerous. But even if you understand this, there's still one more problem. And this is the biggest one. Most people only have one source of income. Their job. So their entire financial life depends on one thing. Showing up to work. If they stop working, the income stops. And if the income stops, everything else becomes fragile. This is why so many people can't retire early. Because they were never building income outside of their job. And early retirement is not about having a large amount of money. It's about having income that doesn't depend on your time. Income that keeps coming in, even when you're not working. That's the difference. That's the shift. And once you understand this, everything starts to change. So what should you do? First, you need to stop thinking like a saver. And start thinking like an investor. Instead of asking, how much can I save? Start asking, how can I make my money grow? Second, start now. Not next year. Not when things feel perfect. Now. Because even small amounts can grow into something significant if you give them enough time. And third, focus on building income streams. Not just one, but multiple. This could be investments in index funds, dividend-paying assets, long-term financial strategies that generate consistent returns. The goal is simple: to reach a point where your money works for you, so you don't have to work forever. Because at the end of the day, retirement is not about age. It's about freedom. The freedom to choose how you spend your time. The freedom to stop working without fear. The freedom to live life on your own terms. And that freedom doesn't come from working harder. It comes from working smarter with your money. If you're serious about retiring early, this channel is for you. We break down everything, step by step, in the simplest way possible, so you can take control of your future, not just hope for it. Subscribe now, and start building your freedom today. And in the next video, I'll show you exactly how much money you really need to retire at 50, and how to calculate your number based on your lifestyle. Because once you know that number, everything changes.